This is the plaintiff, John Hicks. He says there was a warrant out for his arrest because of some problems he had with his wife, and he needed to post a bond. The defendant, a friend, collected on that bond once his legal troubles were cleaned up, and now refuses to give him the money she collected, which was his in the first place. He's suing the sneaky woman for $350, the amount he's owed. This is the defendant, Jessica Hyland. She says the check from the bond was made out to her. She cashed it and gave it to the plaintiff's friend. She did as instructed, has no idea where that money went, and certainly didn't keep it for herself. So owe the plaintiff? Ha! She's accused of bailing on the bond money.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case in the docket. The plaintiff says there was a warrant for his arrest. He needed to post bond, and he says the defendant, his good friend, pilfered the money. But the defendant says she gave the money to the person she was supposed to. It's the case of, I feel a special bond with you.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome, ma'am.
John Hicks,
Yes.
you are suing Jessica Hyland for $350 that you say she owes you from a bail return. Tell me what happened here.
On October 1st, 2010, I was arrested for a warrant.
For what charge?
Violating order of protection.
Domestic violence?
There's menacing, but
Yeah, for domestic violence?
yeah, domestic violence, yes.
Okay.
And I went to jail. I went to the precinct, and a friend of mine came to the precinct to collect my wallet with my bank card in it. And once that was done, he went to the bail bond and withdrew the money out of my account. And he didn't have a job at the time, so he contacted the defendant, and the defendant put up 2 pay stubs.
How did you know this individual?
A mutual friend,
A mutual friend.
which is my
Oh, now who came to you to say, can you help us?
a friend.
How close a friend? Because that was really putting you on a line for a complete stranger who's charged with violating a restraining order.
We've met before.
Yeah.
We acquaintances, but we weren't best of friends.
Did you understand what you were doing?
I thought I was just helping out a friend.
Right. Did you
by putting up
understand
pay
what it
stubs.
means to sign? Did you have to sign property over or anything?
No.
Okay, so what did you sign? Just promising that if he bails, if he goes away, if he doesn't show up, if he fails to appear, that you then are on the hook for the rest of the bond?
I was not aware of that at that time.
Isn't that exactly what the bail bondsman explained to you?
It was not explained.
What was the bond, the size of the bond?
$1,500.
Right. And so how much, so did you have to put up any money, or he put up the money and you just showed your paychecks?
I showed my paychecks.
What did you think was a reason for wanting to see your paychecks? Like, come on, because your brain cells have to be connected, because I know you're speaking and you're listening to
Correct.
So what did you think was a reason why the bail bondsman insists on seeing your paycheck to see if you can afford what? Fill in the blank. Something.
True.
Right? So you were going to be on the hook. So did anybody pay you a little something, something?
No. When they came to me and asked me if I can, they were putting up the cash, and they needed pay stubs because they didn't have a job showing pay stubs. So I did that. And the only thing that was promised to me with Mr. Hicks was he was to paint my apartment, which he did.
Okay, so something was
a half
promised to you.
job.
Now it makes sense. So did he paint your apartment?
Halfway.
Why? What happened to the rest?
I have no idea. He just disappeared. And Bail's bondsman was calling my phone, asking me, he hasn't checked in.
Where did you go?
I didn't go anywhere. I painted the living room, the kitchen, the hallway, and the bathroom. She refused to let me paint the bedroom. And that was
Were
it.
the bail bondsmen calling her, trying to find out where you were because you hadn't shown up?
No, I mean...
Did you ever fail to show up?
No.
Did you fail to show up?
The bail bond, I had the signature. I had to sign in every week.
She says the bail bondsmen were calling her and saying he hasn't signed in.
I signed in every week.
Was there a court date you didn't show to?
No.
All right, so what happened with the case?
Okay, it was disposed of in 2012.
How?
I ended up going to anger management classes because
Okay.
the original charge was menacing, and it was frivolous because my wife and I, we had gotten, we were visiting, we were cordial. Then we were visiting, and I received a phone call, and I left, and she didn't want me to leave, so we argued, and like 10 days later, I received a phone
Okay,
call saying to turn myself
so
in.
in 2012, it was resolved by you going to anger management,
Yes,
and so
and-
once the case was closed, did you plead guilty?
Disorderly conduct.
You pled guilty to disorderly conduct and had to do anger management courses.
Yes.
And then once the case was closed, the bond is released,
Yes.
and a portion of the money that you put down ends up getting returned to you because that's money that you actually put down, not through the bondsman.
Yes.
All right. But it goes to you because it's in your name.
Correct.
All right. And how much was that?
$350.
And this was 2 years later. So what happens when you get that money? Or when did you get a check in the mail, or did you get a notice?
They called me stating that the check was ready. I went, I picked it up from the bailsman. I cashed it, and I gave it to the guy that actually told me he put the money up, which is now he's deceased.
Okay. And you gave it to him and said, "Here's your money."
Yes.
And that was that.
That was that.
That was the end of it.
That was the end of it.
And you
Until
haven't
I
heard from him in all these years.
Correct.
It's been 3 years since that check was cashed.
Correct.
And you have not heard from him in 3 years.
No.
Why do you suppose you're hearing from him now?
I'm guessing he's strapped for money. I have no idea. I haven't heard from him.
Who's the lady who's with you?
She is the girlfriend of the deceased man that put up the money.
Oh, come on up. Do you know her?
Yes, I know.
Oh, were you shocked when she walked in?
Would you post a $1,500 bail for a friend? I'm going way in the back.
I would. I believe it also depends on how close you are with that friend and if he or she is able to also pay you back. Why not?
Well, how about this one little factor, and if they might flee? Just say,
I don't want to be involved in that.
okay, going inside the courtroom.
The reason why she haven't heard from me, I didn't know her last name.
Okay. So
And
how did you find out her last name 3
I
years
ran into
later?
somebody that knew both of us mutually, and they told me her last name, and then I called. Actually,
Did he put up the money, or did your husband or boyfriend? Boyfriend put up the money.
He put up the money.
Who put up the money?
He did.
He who? Your
The
boyfriend or him?
The boyfriend.
The boyfriend?
Your boyfriend.
Your boyfriend.
Yes.
Okay. Are you sure about that? Like, you know it was his money?
I didn't go to no bank with him.
So you don't know if he put up the money. You just know he
I know he had the
mechanically,
money.
physically went and did the money thing. But did you know where the money came from?
No.
Okay. Do you know whether she paid him the money?
Who?
Do you know whether the person standing to your right paid your boyfriend?
Yes.
Yes. Did that happen in front of you?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, no. I mean,
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
okay. It happened in front of you.
Yes. They
When-
actually lived together.
Who did?
Yeah.
John Hicks and Dwayne Cooley.
Your boyfriend?
My boyfriend, yes.
Okay. So you weren't living with your boyfriend?
No.
He was living. All right. And they actually lived together. So do you think your boyfriend took it to him, or you think your boyfriend just took it, or you don't know and you don't care?
He wouldn't just take it.
How are you going to prove your case that she got that money and kept it as opposed to paying it when your friends, I'm sorry that he passed away, to all of you who I'm sure are pained by it, but how are you going to prove this case when she's here saying, yeah, you know, she paid him the money. All she is a person who stepped up when you needed her to and got a few rooms painted in return and moved the money along. How are you going to prove that she stole your money?
Our friend, he died before she got the check back.
No.
He died before he got the check back.
When did he die?
And 2 years ago, 2013.
Okay.
And the check
When did he die?
the case wasn't in
September the 9th. September the 6th, 2014.
13.
And the check had came back way before that.
I cashed the check on and about November 7th, between the 7th and the 11th of 2012.
12. Yeah, it's not looking too good for you.
No?
No, it's not. My verdict in this case is for the
boy.
defendant.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, so the plaintiff comes on out here looking a little
Yeah, man, I'm disappointed.
got a look on your face there.
Yeah, because, I mean, she got the check. She don't know if the girl gave it to her or not. I don't know what they got cash, but it is what it is.
Why did it take you so long to get at this?
I didn't know her last name. So,
You didn't know her last name?
no. I just found it out. Thank
Right.
you.
All right. All right. All right, so step on over here. What's going on?
Oh, the judge made a good decision.
Yeah.
I received the check. I gave the money to him. If it wasn't given back to him, there's no way to prove it.
What's going on with him?
I have no idea. You would have to ask him that.
So why do you think he waited this long? He needed money?
He needed
needs
money,
money.
And all of a sudden, you're the target?
I'm the target.
That's it?
That's
That's
it.
it.
Plain and simple like
Plain and
that?
simple.
Harvey?
Okay, Kurt, I got to say, the fact that he waited 3 years did not help his case. When somebody owes you money, you got to document it, and sooner the better. Get it documented when you think there's a problem.